morning, ladies and gentlemen. Uh, Today's topic is titled The Parts of Speech. As language users, we, we utter more than 1,000 words daily. The reason is that in our everyday encounter, we express our joy, our fears, our anxiety, and our anger, our wishes, our occasional threats using words. Now the question is, what is a word? Even beyond the use of words to express our feelings and our opinions and ideas, words are the building blocks of our sentence constructions during conversations. Now, what is a word? A word is simply defined as the smallest meaningful grammatical unit of a language. The smallest meaningful grammatical unit of a language, which means it is the least form of grammatical unit that you can find in any language. And there are different categories, and words can be categorized according to types. There are 4 types of words in English, which are simple words, compound words, complex words, and hyphenated words. A simple word is simply defined as a single base morpheme. It can stand on its own and make sense. We have examples like boy, girl, go, man, woman, and the rest of them. Another type of English word is a complex word. A complex word is a word that consists of a free and a bound morpheme, which means something must have been added to the simple word. For example, we have the word accountability. Account is a simple word there. So ability has been added to account, making it accountability. The same thing, we have assassination. Assassin Asian has been added to the word assassin to make it assassination. Where is that we have also condemnable. Able has been added to the word condemn to make it condemnable. When you have words that has a simple word and an addition or an attachment, it is classified as a complex word. Then the third one is a compound word, which is usually a combination of 2 simple words. So for example, we have the word air force, which air and force, blackboard, okay, backache, cornerstone, and the rest of them. All of when you have 2 simple words coming together to form a word, it becomes a compound word. Motorway, Cold War, and the rest of them. Then the last but not the least type of words is the hyphenated words. Hyphenated words are words that are linked with the use of a hyphen. So examples include anti-graft, anti-corruption, by-election, off-road, Coca-Cola, ill-tempered, holier than thou, mother-in-law, self-contained, and the rest of them. Once you have a word linked with the head of a hyphen, it is known as hyphenated word. Now, what are the classification of English words? All of the words that we have in English language have classes that they belong to. That's why they are known as word class or parts of speech. They are part of our daily speech because they help us to form coherent and meaningful sentences. Now, there are therefore 2 classifications of English words, or what we call part of speech. The first class is what we call the lexical words, and the other one is the grammatical words. Now, lexical words are part of speech that are most important in sentence constructions. They include nouns, verbs, adverbs, and adjectives. On the other end of it is the grammatical or functional words. These are not so important as that of the lexical words. They are just grammatical. They are just there to play the role of grammar to complement other lexical verbs. Lexical words. Now, these grammatical words are pronouns, prepositions, conjunctions, determinants, and interjections. Therefore, we have 8 parts of speech when we combine both the lexical words and the grammatical words together, giving us nouns, verbs, adverbs, and adjectives as the lexical words. And on the other hand, we have the grammatical words as pronouns, prepositions, conjunctions, determinants, and interjections. Now, what are these parts of speech? Let's pick them one after another. The first one is a noun. A noun is simply defined as a naming word. Anything in the world that has a name is known as a noun. Just mention anything that is given a name. So nouns are naming words. So when we name people, when we name places, when we name an animal or a concept or an emotion or a feeling or a philosophy or idea, it is known as a noun. In fact, the names of historical events, title of ranks, the names of institutions, whatever has a name in the world is a noun. Now, what are the forms of nouns? We have what we call the first one, the plural tantrums. The plural tantrums. These are singular noun forms that appear as plural. They are singular, but they appear as plurals. For example, mathematics, statistics, physics, metaphysics, linguistics, elephantiasis. Now, one interesting thing about plural tantrum is that they often end with an S. Therefore, they appear as plural, whereas they are singular. So they are known as plural tantrums. Then the second one is the summation plurals. These are nouns that end with S and have plural meanings. Examples of summation plurals are tools and dresses of two equal parts. For example, we have pliers, trousers, shorts, knickers, sandals, stockings, scissors, glasses, sunglasses, binoculars, and the rest of them. These are summation plurals. Why? Because each of the noun ends with an S, and they also have a plural sense. Then we have the third form of nouns, static plural nouns. Static plural nouns. These are nouns that are naturally plural in form and in meanings. Examples are ashes, arrears, manners, fireworks, minutes, the minutes of a meeting, archives. All of these, by nature, they are just plural and they cannot be used in a singular sense. Then the last form of English nouns is known as the zero singular nouns. These are nouns that appear as singular, but they do not make a distinction between singularity or plurality. So in a sentence, they are non-count nouns. Examples include sheep, furniture, luggage, stationery, information. They are known as zero singular nouns. They are always like that. So you cannot say informations, you cannot say stationaries, you cannot say furnitures or luggages or ships. So they are singular nouns. So they appear as information, stationery, furniture, luggage. So whether you are using them they do not make a distinction as in a plural sense or in a singular sense. It depends on the user and what the user is trying to achieve. Now, the next one is the irregular plural nouns. These are nouns that are not static in terms of forms. Sometimes they may appear as singular, they can also be used as plural. Deer, fish, sheep, and the rest of them. Now, having said that, what are the types of nouns? We all know the types of nouns. We have what we call the proper nouns, the common nouns, the abstract nouns, collective nouns, uncountable nouns. I don't want to spend much time on that because we are familiar with that. You can read that up anywhere. Now, the next one is verbs. Verbs are words that are used to express action words. That is what we're told in secondary schools or now elementary stages. But now we define a verb as a word that expresses action performed by a subject or a state of being or an existence or a changing situation. A verb is used to, number one, express actions. It can also be used to express a state of being. It is also used to express existence. A verb is also used to express temporary conditions. Now, let me give you each example for each of the what a verb can perform grammatically. A verb can be used to express an action. For example, I teach at Yaba College of Technology. That is an action. It can also be used to express a state of being. The general elections are here again. Then we have it can also be used to express existence. I have 2 houses in Lagos. We also have, you can also be used to express temporary conditions. The building wears a new look today. All of these are what you can use a verb to express. Now, what are the classifications of a verb? We have lexical and auxiliary verbs, transitive and intransitive verbs, regular and irregular verbs, verb phrase and phrasal verbs, finite and non-finite verbs, dynamic and static verbs. Each of these has a special role they play grammatically in the body of a sentence. So now we move faster now to the next stage, to the next level, which is what are the characteristics of a verb? Number 1, number. A verb is used to refer to how many persons or animals or ideas that the verb refers to. So the number could be singular or plural. Are you with me? So the second one is a verb is used to express person. Person. A verb describes the person or thing from a speaker's perspective. That is, the speaker is the one referring to the first person or the second person or the third person. Another characteristic of an English verb is voice. The voice of a verb denotes the role a subject plays in a sentence. It indicates whether the action is being performed directly by the subject or received by it. There are 2 main voices in English. We have the active voice and the passive voice. Another characteristic of English verb is also mood. The mood expressed by a verb indicates the speaker's emotional state or attitude or feeling towards a person or a thing. The mood is briefly described as a state of mind. So we can have what we call indicative mood, imperative mood, subjunctive mood. And the next one is another characteristic of English verb is a tense. This is the common one that most of us are familiar with. This is a verb that indicates the time of an action or state of being or condition. The action or state of being or condition may have happened, yet to happen, be immediate or in progress. So we have 3 basic forms of tenses. We have the past tense, the present tense, and the future tense. Then the next one is an adjective. Adjective describes or modifies a noun or pronoun. It is used to paint a mental picture of a noun or a pronoun. The main function of an adjective is that it helps language users to qualify or describe something or someone accurately. There are types of adjectives: attributive adjectives, predicative adjectives, regular adjectives, irregular adjectives, gradable and non-gradable adjectives. Each of them has the grammatical role they play in the sentence construction. Adverbs. An adverb is a word or a group of words that modifies a verb, an adjective or an adverb. Yes, it might sound awkward. It is possible for an adverb to also modify an adverb. Now, what are the forms of adverbs? Most adverbs in English have derivational suffix ly that most of us know, but there are some that do not have this ly added to the base form. So when ly is added to an adjective, it becomes an adverb. For example, brief, you can have briefly. Slow, we can have slow as an adjective, we can have slowly, and the rest of them. Then we'll move to the next one. What are the functions of adverbs? Number 1 function of an adverb tells us about is that manner or of that an action is performed. It is called an adverb of manner. She speaks slowly is the manner in which she speaks. We also have an adverb of place. I saw the red ball here, telling us the place where the red ball is. We also have an adverb of time, which is used to denote an action or the time an action occurred, or for how long the action occurred. You are married forever. An adverb of frequency, which explains how often an action is performed. Devout Christians worship daily. We have an adverb of degree. Drinking alcohol is highly prohibited in our institution. An adverb of frequency. We also an adverb of degree, sorry. We also have an adverb of result. Givers never lack. Speed always kills. These are different ways by which an adverb can be used. And these are functions of adverbs. Now, what are the classes of adverbs? There are three classes of adverbs. We have what we call adjunct, disjunct, and conjunct. Adjunct are adverbs that tell us how, when, where, to what extent an action is performed. He is extraordinarily talented. That is an adjunct, telling us the degree to what extent is talented. We have disjunct. Disjunct are adverbs used to express speaker's frame of mind. Unfortunately, I have been disappointed. That is disjoint. Conjunct are adverbs that are used to join two or more clauses. They perform connective functions in a sentence. Though the report was sent earlier, we did not receive it on time. Now, what are pronouns? Pronouns are used in place of nouns. We have classifications of pronouns. There are 8 classes of pronouns, which include personal pronouns, possessive pronouns, reflective pronouns, relative pronouns, demonstrative pronouns, indefinite pronouns, reciprocal pronouns, and interrogative pronouns. Each of them has the grammatical role they play in the body of a sentence. Well, then conjunctions. A conjunction is a word that binds group of words in a clausal structure or in a sentence constructions. They help us to achieve uniformity in our sentence formation. We can have, for example, you and I would live as one. Man proposes, but God disposes. These are examples of conjunction. Now, what are the forms of conjunction we have? We have single word conjunctions and multiple word conjunctions. Single word conjunctions include because, if, yet, while, except, and the rest of them. We have multiple words conjunctions as soon as, in case, instead of, in order that, even though, provided that, as if, and the rest. What are the types of conjunctions? We have 2 main types of the conjunctions, and we have coordinating conjunctions and subordinating conjunctions. Now, the next one is preposition. What is a preposition? Is a grammatical word used to express relational meanings between grammatical elements in a sentence formation. These relational meanings can be in reference to place, time, cause, association, or instrument. Types of preposition. We have different types. We have simple preposition and complex preposition. Now, what are the functions of preposition? Number one is it is used to show location. I met her at the London Park. A preposition can also indicate destination. Can also function as destination. John kicked the ball across the river. It can also function as passage. He passed the cup through the window. It can also be used to show direction. He jogs up and down this lonely road every Saturday morning. It can also be used it can also be used to indicate time. I will visit you at the weekend. We have determinants. What are determinants? Determinants are words that are usually qualify a noun. They qualify a noun in the sense that they are used to refer specifically to members of a class. Types of articles. Determinants. Type of determinant. We have articles, qualifiers, numerals, and ordinals. I take it again. Types of determinants: articles, qualifiers, numerals, ordinals, possessives, and demonstratives. What are articles? These are words that you specify the noun or noun phrase in, either it's definite or indefinite. We have qualifiers. Qualifiers restrict or modify the meaning of a noun. Many, more, some, few. We have numerals. Numerals are words used to represent number. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Ordinals. Ordinals are used to refer to relative position of something. We have example: first, second, third, fourth, fifth. We have possessive determinants. These are used to show possession or ownership. My, your, is, are, and the rest of, and demonstrative, this or that and those. I think at this point I will stop and expect you to drop your comments or questions. Thank you.